This is going to be the tutorial on how to use Excel. So first we're going to go to the page. We have to go to the topics page, open up the first tile, which is Project 1 Linear Equations. If you're using Excel, down here under the links, you're going to select the Excel dataset. All right, make sure you go ahead and open it and save it to your computer. All right, so what I'm going to do is part 1, which is graphing the data set for year and CO2. Notice how the year, I decided to go with year since 1959, which would make 1959 0. This will make it easier since this will be our y-intercept. All right, so the first thing you need to do, go ahead and go up to Insert. You're going to choose a scatter plot. This one right here, XY scatter. You're going to choose the first one. All right, it has some data already set in because it's trying to guess what you want to do. However, I'm going to go ahead and delete all that, and then we're going to start fresh. All right, so the first thing you need to do is go up to Select Data. The things that you're worrying about here is the X and Y values. So click the Data Select window, which is right here. Select that. That's going to allow you to select which data you want to choose. We're going to choose all the cells by click, drag, and hold to select the entire selection. So we're going to go from 0, which is cell B4, click, hold, drag, all the way down to 2018, which is 59. After we did that, we're going to press Enter. All right, now we're going to have to select our Y values. Our Y values is going to be CO2. All right, so click the window again. We're going to scroll up to the very first one, which is in cell D4. Click, hold, and drag to select all the data. Once you've done that, press Enter. All right, so now that we have our X values and our Y values, I'm going to press OK to see the graph. All right, so this is our graph. Notice that our X values is years. Time is the independent variable. The dependent variable is CO2, the y-axis. Notice how there's a lot of white space here. We're going to go ahead and try to adjust that to have a better looking graph. I want to get rid of all of this area. So what I'm going to do is adjust my y-axis. All right, so look at the minimum. Minimum goes from about 300. The maximum is going to be around 400, 425. So I'm going to try to graph my y-axis from 300 all the way to 450. Let's see what that looks like. So we're going to click on any number on the y-axis. All right, then we're going to right click to have the options pop up. I'm going to do Format Axis. All right, over here on the right, this is going to be our axis options. We're going to go ahead and select what we want. Our minimum, we said we want to be 300. We want our maximum to remain at 450, and just to see what that looks like. All right, we're going to leave it like that and keep it as is. We're going to go ahead and just simply click out of it, and our graph will automatically adjust. All right, what we want to do now is start to add some axis labels in our title. Well, our title is already here, all right, but I'm going to go ahead and delete it, act like if it wasn't there, just in case. All right, I'm going to get rid of my legend. All right, I just clicked and pressed delete. So now I'm going to add my y-axis label, my x-axis label, and then a chart title. So we're going to click on the graph anywhere, it does not matter. We're going to go up to the left where it says Add Chart Element. We're going to go down to Axis Titles and press Primary Horizontal. This is going to be my x-axis. And then it puts it underneath. I'm just going to double click to go ahead and edit. This is going to be my year. I want to make sure I'm precise, so it's going to be year since 1959. I should probably make it years since 1959. All right, I'm going to click out of it just by clicking my graph. That is going to remain there. Now I'm going to add my y-axis label by going up again to Add Chart Element, Axis Titles, Primary Vertical. All right, so now we notice that it's there. We're going to go ahead and double click to make sure we edit it. and we're going to put our CO2, or I'm going to just spell it out, carbon dioxide. Don't forget your units. If you're wondering what the units are, it's parts per million. Feel free to look up the link that is in mySevern for an explanation. All right, I'm going to click the graph to go out of it, and now I'm going to want to add a chart title. Go back up to Add Chart Element, Chart Title, and you could do it center overlay, so it would go right over the graph, right? It would end up right here. We could do none, which is what we have now, or we could do above chart. It's totally up to you. I'm going to do above chart so it looks a little bit cleaner. We're going to give it an appropriate name. Here, I'm just going to go with year versus CO2. All right, and there we have it. We have successfully graphed years since 1959 versus carbon dioxide. Look how good the graph looks. There's not much empty space. We have a y-intercept since we did years since 1959. So that's going to make it easier when we go ahead and come up with our equations. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to email me and ask, or post it into mySevern so others can see. Thanks. Hope this helped.